Mystery Crater Lake, Oregon. The sinister story behind this popular Oregon lake will give you chills. There are a large number of locations that are reportedly haunted in Oregon. In fact, some of America's creepiest haunts can be found in this state, particularly in southern Oregon, Portland, and on the Oregon coast. However, not many people would think to include the always beautiful Crater Lake on this list. Located in Klamath County, within the Cascade Range of southwest Oregon, Crater Lake is steeped in mysterious legends. Despite its serene surface, the lake has a dark history filled with strange phenomena and chilling stories. Crater Lake is renowned for its extreme depth, vibrant color, and crystal clarity. The towering cinders of the crater rim are contrasted by the lush, ancient forest that surrounds it. Heavy snows and rain keep the dormant caldera perpetually filled with pristine blue water, fit for human consumption. This geological wonder was originally called Deep Blue Lake and Witch's Cauldron. The Native American language, Klamath, refers to the lake as Gawaz, which is loosely translated as sacred place. Crater Lake National Park is not only a splendor of the natural world. It is a sacred place for Native Americans. But even to this day, many strange events have occurred in the immediate area around the lake, which include disappearances, suicides, and murders. Crater Lake covers 21 square miles and measures up to 1,949 feet in depth. This makes it the deepest lake in the United States and the third deepest in the world. The lake is so deep that it was long rumored to be bottomless. The prehistoric lake was formed by the collapse of the volcano Mount Mazama sometime between 6,000 and 8,000 years ago. Over time, the caldera filled with rain and snowmelt, eventually forming Crater Lake. There are two islands in Crater Lake. Wizard Island is a volcanic cinder cone at the west end of the lake. Phantom Ship Island is named for its unique shape. It is situated on the southeast end of the lake. The area surrounding Crater Lake has long been home to members of the native Klamath tribes, including the Klamath, Modoc, and Yahuskin. Tribe members recognize Crater Lake as a site of power and danger, and they fear the dangerous beings that are believed to live inside the lake. According to legend, the lake was a sort of doorway or crossroads between the darkness of the below world or hell. The Klamath also believed that if a person stared too long at the lake's surface, they would be unable to look away. It was thought that the lake had the power to mesmerize and trap people, and even lure them in toward their death. There are many chilling stories of early settlers in the region. In 1853, 3 explorers searched through the uncharted wilderness for a miner who had gone missing. It was believed that this miner knew the location of a secret gold mine. One of the explorers, a man named John Hillman, claimed that he had found the miner. While Hillman was leading the group to this location, his horse lost footing, dragging Hillman over the cliff's edge to his death. The location of the lost miner and secret gold mine remains undiscovered. There are also a large number of unexplained deaths and disappearances that have occurred around Crater Lake. Photographer Charles McCullough went missing in 1975 after going out to take winter photos of Crater Lake. Even with extensive search efforts, his body was not discovered until the following year. Strangely, his toe and shin bones were the only body parts found. One ranger described it as if the man had simply melted away. Additionally, there have been many bizarre cases of aircraft fatalities and disappearances in the area. One of the strangest incidents occurred in the spring of 1944. 2 Grumman torpedo planes were flying in formation when one of the pilots turned and saw that the other plane had simply vanished. It was later determined that the plane had crashed into the lake and sunk to the bottom, even though the weather had been obvious. It was as if the lake had snatched the aircraft from the sky. Many sightings of Sasquatch have been documented in the area. In one memorable encounter, park rangers reportedly followed a massive, shaggy, and bipedal beast into the forest. They had to turn back when the creature started to violently throw pine cones at them. Then, there's the eerie smoke that is said to be seen from Wizard Island at night. Natives claim that these are the spirits of the island. Multiple people have reported seeing dragon-like lake monsters looming beneath the water's surface around the island. As if things could get any weirder, there have even been UFOs spotted above Crater Lake. Witnesses claim that UFOs flit in and out of the water. Strange sightings of people and fires on Wizard Island. Wizard Island is one of only 2 small islands in Crater Lake. This little island is in the form of an almost perfect cylindrical cone and was named Wizard in reference to pointy hats. Combined with the fog swirling around the rocky cylinder, the island resembles a wizard's hat and his white flowing beard. In the warmer seasons, park rangers will ferry visitors out to the island to explore. Wizard Island has developed lore of its own over the years because many different rangers have claimed repeatedly to have seen human-looking figures and fire burning on the island at night when the park is utterly desolate. The stories are consistent. And when rangers swiftly motored out to the island to investigate, they found nobody present and no fire at all. Phantom Ship Island looks like the masts of a ship. Phantom Ship Island is the other of the 2 islands. This is an island made up of a series of jagged points rising up about 160 feet, 49 meters, from the lake's surface. The steep points, with their sharp, angular rise and fall, alone on the liquid surface, vaguely resemble the masts of a ship, and when the fog swoops in and climbs out of the caldera, the ship seems to eerily disappear and reappear. Old Man of the Lake. The Old Man of the Lake is the nickname given to a famous geological oddity on the lake. The oddity is a 30-foot tall tree stump, which has been bleached by the sun to a bright white and has apparently floated upright all over the lake for over a century, and perhaps even much longer than that. A species of unique moss grows on the Old Man, a moss that is only otherwise present very deep within the lake. It has been theorized that the moss is what keeps the Old Man buoyant. Various experiments have been done on the Old Man. They have determined the tree be about 450 years old and that it travels quite extensively through the lake, sometimes with unusual speed. In 1988, ecologists were conducting submarine explorations on the lake. They decided to move the Old Man to the far side of Wizard Island to reduce the possibility of the tree interfering with the submarine. But when they tied the Old Man to the island, the weather suddenly took a drastic turn for the worse, and it continued to worsen until there was heavy snowfall in August. The moment they released the Old Man from his bonds, the weather cleared, adding yet another layer of mystery to this place. Mount Mazama is the Klamath sacred mountain of creation. There are a few different existing variations of the Klamath myths revolving around the lake, but the core elements remain constant in all the versions. Barbara Alatorre, a Klamath tribal member and Klamath historian, relays her people's story, which sanctifies the crater as a place of creation. Before time began, giant spirit beings came down to earth through a hole in the sky, pushing ice down to build giant mountains. The first mountain built by the Klamath spirit beings was Moyaina, Big Mountain, where Mount Mazama now stands. The spirit beings created the rest of the Klamath terrain by digging tunnel-like caverns beneath the earth and by pushing up the hills and mountains to create the Cascade Range. They dug the channels for rivers and created the marshes, and hundreds of springs bubbled up from underground. Giant trees, meadows, and plants sprung up everywhere. Upon completion, all the spirits returned to the afterworld, called Noli's Gani, where others may not go until after death. Only the spirit chief, Skel, the sky creator, remained behind to create human beings, Moklaks. Skel made his home inside Mount Shasta, Mlaxi, at the southern end of the Moklaks country. From his spirit bag, Skel selected 2 bones as he soared over to what is now Klamath Lake, where he laid the bones over one another, giving birth to the Klamaths. 2 bones were crossed near Modokni Lake, known today as Tule Lake, home of the Modaks. Finally, near Goose Lake, bones were laid together, to become progenitors of the Yahuskin and Walpapi people. The prison of Lau and gateway to the underworld. The Klamath tale goes on to describe Lau, the chief of the underworld, who would occasionally come up to the surface and observe the humans living in their splendid realm. Once, during one of his spying sessions, he saw Loha, who was the daughter of a Klamath chief. Loha was exceptionally beautiful and refused all suitors, which included all the bravest warriors from the surrounding clans. During an important ceremonial observance, Lao sent his supernatural entourage to entice Loha, and apparently, they dispatched her suitors in a blast of orange light. The extravagant gifts, the suspicious nature of the entourage, and their otherworldly removal of the suitors overwhelmed Loha with fear. She reported what she had experienced to her father. He and the elders decided to hide her so that Lao could not force her to live inside the mountain with him as his wife. The tradition then says that when Lao returned and could not find Loha, and nobody would reveal her whereabouts, he flew into a rage, wreaking havoc beneath the crater in the subterranean realm, causing volcanic activity to ravage the people out of revenge. The prison of Lao continued. Two powerful medicine men sought to evoke Skel, their benevolent creator, to rescue the people from the wrath of Lao, so they walked by torchlight up to the rim and sacrificed themselves to the underworld. This commotion did arouse the attention of the creator deity of the sky, and, moved by the sacrifice of the medicine men, Skel descended and waged war against Lao, ultimately defeating him. So, the Klamath believe to this day that the crater was created, then filled with water, to imprison Lao in the water to restore tranquility to the area after the fierce battle. And although Skel was victorious and Lao imprisoned, it is still a place of somewhat ominous caution, as this is the entryway into the subterranean realm of Lao and the demons/monsters that serve him. Regardless of its mysterious past, Crater Lake remains one of the most stunning areas in all of Oregon. Crater Lake is open all year round. Visitors can drive around the lake and stop at numerous breathtaking vistas, or take a guided trolley tour around the rim. There's also a boat tour to Wizard Island. Just make sure to watch out for the lake monsters.